Hey you guys, so we're in the shop today. I'm still working on my living room and I'm still working on pieces for my gallery wall. So I found this gorgeous frame at the thrift store, and the glass is like bowed, so it's not flat, and it has velvet on the back. It's beautiful. It's actually made in Italy. I love when I find things like this at the thrift store because I probably paid like 99 cents for this, seriously. So I have this gorgeous frame I'll be using today. I'm also going to be using some cardstock and Iron Orchid Designs entomology transfer. You guys have seen me use this a ton because I love it. And I'll be using some of Wise Owl's chalk synthesis paint in Abyss, one of my favorite colors. Hi, I'm Royce Hunt Bell, owner and operator of Roycycled Treasures. Let's get started. So to get started, let's do our painting first so that can dry. So I have this gorgeous frame and I'm actually going to leave it because I have a lot of brass in my living room. So that color is perfect. And I did take a few moments to clean my glass really well before we got started. But I love the velvet on the back of here, but I just cannot reconcile this color with what I have going on in my living room. So I'm going to do a really thin coat of Abyss over the top of this velvet, and it won't feel like velvet anymore, but it won't matter, right? Because no one's going to feel it. It's going to be on the back of the frame. You guys, so look at this. Isn't this so cute? Sorry. I found this roller set on Amazon and I love it because there are a lot of times where I have smaller projects where I want to roll on paint so that I get a super smooth finish, but I don't want to pull out my big foam roller. So this is perfect. It actually came with 2 foam rollers and then 2 that have like a nap to them. So I'm choosing the one with a little nap to it today because this has some texture and I want to make sure that I get really good coverage. So I'm just going to do a quick coat of chalk paint over this back in Abyss. And this color is going to be more like, it's going to go in my space better than this color that's on here. So I'm just going to roll it on there. I really don't want to put a ton of paint. That's another reason why I chose the roller rather than the brush. I just want to kind of retint this. And so I'm just going to roll this paint. This is so cute. I'm gonna be using this all the time now. And how many times have you had something where you want to like roll the edge of it, but you don't do it because you don't want to pull out your the roller to do it, the big foam roller, and have to wash it afterwards and wash all of your paint down the drain? This one is tiny, so it's perfect because I'm not going to use a ton of product in this little bitty roller. And so we'll set this aside and let it dry while we work on the other part of our project. So I have some cardstock here, you guys, and it's not like super thick. It's actually, I brought the packet so I can make sure and remember, it's 200 GSM is what it is. And so this is craft paper, and I'll make sure and leave the link below so you guys can see exactly what I used. It's a little thicker than like paper, but it's not as thick as cardstock, like really heavy duty cardstock. And I found that this is perfect for when I want to make like 3-dimensional pieces using my transfers. And the one that I want to put in here is actually the death moth from this. It's my favorite one. I wish there were more of those in here. Let's make sure that we pick the right size. You guys see how much yumminess is in this transfer? You get 4 sheets and there's like tons of pieces on here. If I use this one, I'm going to lose some of his wing, but I think I'm going to use him because he fills up the space better. Let's use the big one. We'll use the big one. I can't afford a real entomology collection, you guys. I saw one. A friend of mine goes to like huge estate sales and he had some collections, but they're just so expensive and they're way out of my budget. So this is how I cheat. I can get the look of beautiful entomology collections on my wall without having to pay for them. Or go out and collect them myself because I don't have time for that either. So we'll use him, and what we're going to do is we're going to transfer him onto this paper, and then we're going to fussy cut him out. So if you've never used a transfer before, the beautiful thing about them is when you transfer, you only get the artwork. So this white on here is just a backing, and once I take that off, all I have left is the actual artwork. So we're going to transfer it on to the brown craft paper. And I'm choosing the brown craft paper also because if it shows a little bit, like, it'll still look good. You know what I mean? It won't look like you're seeing something that you're not supposed to see. And so this is a burnisher, and it comes with every transfer, and you just use this to rub the transfer off of the plastic, the backing, and onto your surface. And you can use these on furniture, home decor projects, craft projects. They're really, really versatile. If you guys are looking for any of these products, you can find them at roycycled.com. So I think I have it rubbed down. So I always lift my paper up slowly, especially for like tiny parts like this little, I don't know if you guys can see that little tiny antenna right there. I'm going to lift really slowly right there to make sure. See how it's not pulling up? All I have to do is rub it again, and then I can continue to pull it up. So it's still easy peasy lemon squeezy. And we're good. So I'm going to take my paper that it was on, and I'm just going to go over the top really lightly, not super heavy, but I just want to make sure there's good contact between my transfer and the paper that I'm applying to it. Or for your sake, between your transfer and whatever surface that you're putting it on there. It's just a really good idea to just kind of rub it. And I like to use this paper to do it because it's super slick. And it's less likely to cause any kind of friction that's going to lift up my transfer. So now that my transfer is on my cardstock, you guys, I'm going to fussy cut it using my fussy cut scissors. You guys know I love these scissors. I have some arthritis in my hands, and so they're not the strongest. And this big loop on these really does help me to be able to fussy cut really well. Or easier, anyways. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. My mind is already like 5 minutes from now. Like, what am I going to do? Because I'm cutting this out, and I'm thinking this would be really cool if we gold leaf the back. Just in case it peeks out a little bit. What do you guys think? I think we should do it. Look at, I cut his wing a little bit. I'm going to cut this out a little bit so I can have a little bit more control. Okay, so now I have this really cool death moth that I can use, and the reason why I put it on the paper though is because I want to give it some more dimension. And so just being able to fold it up like this and put it in my frame, it just makes it so much more interesting than having it just be transferred flat on the back. Okay, you guys, so new idea or additional idea. I am going to gold leaf the back of this just in case it peeks out. It'll still be pretty. So I have my water-based sealer here, and then I also have like the adhesive that we have here. So I'm going to shake this up really well. I found that not all adhesives are the same. So you have some resin-based adhesives and some other ones that don't wash out of your tools very well. So I use water-based because I actually use this with my stamps sometime. Beautiful, you guys, beautiful. I'll be doing a tutorial for that like soon. You can actually use like your IOD stamps with your gilding adhesive and then gold leaf over them. It's so beautiful. But today we're going to be doing our little butterfly, and I'm just like painting on a thin coat of the adhesive onto the back of my paper, which is ironically making him curl a little bit, which is actually kind of cool. I'm going to go over it a second time just because I know that the first coat there's probably a significant portion that was absorbed into the paper. And honestly, so I'm like off script right now. If you guys know ahead of time that you're going to like be adding moisture to the back of your paper on your transfer, if I would have thought about it, I would have sealed the front first, and then applied my butterfly, just to make sure that the moisture from the back, you know, being wicked through the paper, doesn't affect my transfer's adhesion. I don't think it is, but just something I'm thinking about right this second. So I'm gonna let this dry, and this is just some wax paper that I have down so that nothing sticks to anything. So let's let that dry a few minutes, and then once it's dry, we can apply our our gilding. So this is actually gold leaf flakes, and I love it because it's variegated. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but that is how it looks like. It's variegated. So you have like all these beautiful warm tones in here, golds and coppers and reds and browns, and I think this is just absolutely fabulous. And this is a lot of gold leaf. Like, this gold leaf will last me for a really long time. I've already done 2 projects with this, and it still looks full, because you just don't use that much for each of your projects. And so I'm letting my surface, I'm letting the glue dry so that it gets tacky, and then I'm going to go in with my gold leaf. Once you get your surface is all tacky, right? Now I'm going to put my gold leaf on there. Or actually, this is like copper leaf, gold leaf, variegated, I don't know. It's like a big mixture of stuff. And I'm not going to use like a ton, because it spreads around really quickly. This is actually probably too much, but we'll start here, and if we need to add more, we will. It's not a big deal. So this is just a brush from the dollar store, you guys. It's just a Wet n Wild makeup brush. I love using this when I'm using gold leaf, because it's super soft, and those gold leaf brushes are expensive. So this one cost me $1, and it works really, really well. So I'm going to take this and just kind of pounce my gold leaf on there. And I like to do this on paper too, you guys, so that if I have any left over, I can scoop it up and put it back in my package, because I don't want to waste this. Let's put more on there. Although I know this is going to be too much, but any pieces that I sweep off, I'll just sweep them up and put them back in my package, so they won't be wasted. Waste not, want not, right? I should have done this on the front side of the butterfly. This would be a cool project. My mind is already thinking of like the next project, you guys. So now that everything is covered, I'm going to get a little bit more aggressive with my brush and just make sure I get rid of any extras that are kind of lingering around. But you see how gorgeous that variegated gold leaf is? I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. And you can buy the sheets. You can as well. And the sheets are actually less expensive. What I'll do is I'll put a link for this actual product that I'm using. And I'll also put a link for the alternative. And that's the sheets, if you prefer to use the sheets. Oh, that's interesting. I got a little sizing on the front, so some of my gold leaf stuck on this side. It's actually kind of cool. Look at that. Actually, that makes it more interesting, right? Oh, don't you love when accidents work out for the better? Okay, so we're almost done, I promise. This is not super complicated, but so we have him gold leafed on the back. I'm not going to worry about sealing it because it's not like it's going to come in contact with anything. But if you were gold leafing something like furniture or home decor where it's going to be exposed, the kit that I'm going to give you guys a link for actually comes with a sealer as well. So you could do a coat of the sealer over the top of your gold leaf to protect it. And I like using the sealer that comes with it because I know it's not going to like make my gold leaf dull because it's made it's formulated to go with this gold leaf. So my backing is dry, you guys, and I'm ready to adhere my butterfly. But remember, his wings were a little wider than the frame, so I gotta figure this out a little bit. Ugh, I hate to sacrifice those wings, but I'm gonna have to. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna round them off a little bit so that it's less noticeable, maybe, hopefully. Rather than have that really square off shape, we'll round it a little bit. So I'm going to glue him in, and because he's on this cardboard, he's going to have some dimension, and maybe I need to make my wings even shorter. So I'm going to figure out and get him on there just the way I like, and then I will put the frame on, and this guy will go on my gallery wall. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'm crying on the inside while I clip his wings, just so you guys know. Please come back and join us. If you guys enjoyed this craft project, be sure and subscribe to our channel. We upload videos every week, sometimes twice a week. And if you want to get an alert of when we upload videos, you can just hit that bell right there under the screen, and you'll actually get an alert when we upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. We'll see you guys next time. You guys have a blessed day. Remember, anything that I did here today, you guys can absolutely do it. You can do this. You can do it today. Have a blessed day.